Hey, how's everybody doing today? Just thought I'd drop in, give you a little bit of a ramblings from a short, fat, bald guy. Um, Not going to talk about anything specific other than basically employee and employer loyalty at this time. Um, I worked for a healthcare facility that was being absorbed by a larger healthcare facility. Um, Worked in emergency management, doing preparation for pandemics, things like that. And after listening to what the larger facility was offering me, three additional facilities, no additional money, because I didn't have a master's degree. I turned in my notice. I just didn't want to go that route. I was going to have to travel, and just didn't want to do it. Started my own business, and you know what? It had been going pretty well until COVID hit. That same employer was also my wife's employer. She had been there for 35 years. Her mother and father both retired from that same healthcare facility. Her sole goal in life was to retire from that healthcare facility. She had been there her whole life. She had never worked anywhere else. She worked there, not worked, but volunteered there as a candy striper, and then worked as a nurse's aide. Then she went to nursing school, worked there right out of nursing school, started out on the medical floor, worked her way up, was an ICU nurse, a critical care nurse for approximately 20 years. Then she became the manager of the medical floor. The larger healthcare entity that took over our facility had hired a new chief nursing officer, who is not familiar with the area, not familiar with anybody around here. She's from Doylestown, Lodi area, and called my wife down for her weekly meeting and told her that due to financial concerns and reasons, she no longer was employed effective immediately. Devastated my wife. I've never seen her like this, like she was then. She completely devastated. All that the chief nursing officer had to say was, I don't understand why you're so upset. I don't understand why you're taking this so personal. It has nothing to do with your abilities. It's just a business decision. Now, I'm not for anybody losing their jobs, but there were other managers in the facility that had been there as managers a shorter length of time that I think should have been let go. What it comes down to is my wife was the highest paid manager. She had given all of her loyalty to that facility prior to that facility being absorbed by a larger facility north of here. I'm not going to fault the enterprise that took over. They are definitely premier as far as patient care. They provide some of the best care in the world, if not the best care in the world. I will tell you though, they do not treat their employees well. To them, you are nothing but a tool to be used until you are no longer useful to them. At that point, they dispose of you. I mean, they just wash their hands. We're done. Sorry about your luck. We'll see you. Now, did I show loyalty by leaving? No, I didn't. I'd been there 34 years. I didn't like what I was seeing. I read the writing on the wall, so to speak, knew what was going to happen. I obviously had no idea that they were going to terminate my wife several months later. Since that time, there have been many, many more people that were terminated. All of these people, or the most of these people, have been at that facility for 30 plus years. They were the face of that facility. And what the enterprise has done is got rid of the face of that facility. They have gotten rid of the community hospital that all of those people represented. It's a shame that they've done that. Like I said, they do provide good patient care. My fear is that as more purchases and acquisitions go through, you will see our local facility close to inpatient activity. They won't have any inpatients. OB will go away, inpatients will go away. They will do strictly ER and outpatient surgical procedures, things like that. Maybe have a small inpatient rehab, but that would be probably the extent of it, because as they're looking at acquisitions up the road, 20 minutes, they're not going to bother with having the inpatients here. And I think that's a crime to this community. I don't know how many people will see this. You notice I have not mentioned any names. Obviously, I don't want to get sued. I don't want to get nailed for libel or slander or anything like that. I have a lot of friends that still work for the local hospital, and I feel for them because I think that they are as stress could be between what goes on with the enterprise up north versus COVID and the overwork and the expectations. It's really a shame. I know that the enterprise has basically gotten rid of all of the community programs that were carried out by the facility that I worked for, which is a shame. This is not their community. They don't really look at it that it's their community. They can say all they want. I will tell you that they fed administration and the board of directors a line of BS a mile long. They were going to grow the facility. They were going to grow the procedures, the types of patients that we were going to get. It was just going to grow by leaps and bounds. All they've done is transfer patients out. All they've done is close units. All they've done is let people go. And they will tell you all day long it's a financial issue. Is part of that true? Absolutely. But what have you done to grow the patient base here in the community? I've seen nothing. I can tell you that, albeit small, I've got 30 or 40 members of my family locally. None of us will go to that facility anymore. We will go north. If we have to go farther north, unless the enterprise is the only option because of a specific illness, we will go to another option or two up north. I guess what it comes down to, have loyalty to your job, but don't expect that you're going to receive anything back from the corporate companies. You will obviously have much more loyalty from the smaller community type facilities. I'm not talking just hospitals, I'm talking jobs. If you work for a corporation that has headquarters elsewhere, you're not going to have any loyalty, or they're not going to have loyalty expectations. Excuse me. It's not COVID. It's allergies. It's a shame that we've come to this in this country. Loyalty used to mean something to employers and employees both, and it doesn't anymore. It is all about business. It's all about the almighty dollar. And I wish that there was something that would change all that, but there isn't. The small standalone hospitals, facilities could not stand on their own. There's just no way to do it. And as much as I hate to think about it, I know that at some point the facility here will be nothing but an outpatient, maybe an ER, and that'll be it. And, I have a bunch of friends that are there. I foresee that I will have a lot of friends still losing jobs. It's a shame that we were lied to as a community and as employees, the board of director, because we were led astray. And the people that are over there in administration, I think, are just treading on pins and needles. They don't know when their last day is. Some of them, I don't care. They need to go away. There's people over there that I used to have respect for, not anymore. And it's, again, I don't like being that way, but that's the way it is. They've ruined the community hospital that we had, and unfortunately, it's just going to get worse. So that's all I got to say. You know what? Be loyal to a fault, but don't ever have the expectation that you will have that job forever. Whether it's in healthcare, whether it's at fast food, whether it's at a steel mill, whether it's in a college, whether you're a teacher, social worker, nurse, whatever. Don't expect that you will have that job forever, because as these acquisitions and mergers happen, downsizing is the name of the game. Healthcare is nothing but a business, and everything is about the almighty dollar, whether it's healthcare or not. And, live your life, be responsible, be respectful, do the things you need to do, but don't hinge all of your life on having a job with a company forever, because ultimately they don't care. So that's all I got to say. You guys have a good one. Talk to you later.